And Kelsey just attacked, and really sealed that game for the Fever.
Caitlin Clark before the game with the fans signing autographs out there with an injury.
Kelsey Mitchell down the stretch was absolutely fantastic again.
Stephanie White, you are lucky Kelsey Mitchell bailed you out. Oh my goodness.
Stephanie White said Clark is still day to day.
Paige Bueckers did all that she could. She really was trying. She was cooking up.
Caitlin Clark comes back, hopefully healed from her new groin injury.
They say pressure reveals everything. And tonight, it revealed something the Indiana Fever can't ignore any longer. When it mattered most, when the game was slipping and the season's momentum was on the line, Kelsey Mitchell didn't just miss shots, she failed the moment.
Boy, I was about to have a heart attack. Stephanie White, you are lucky Kelsey Mitchell bailed you out. Oh my goodness.
While the Dallas Wings were storming back behind a fiery Paige Bueckers, Mitchell went cold, the offense sputtered, and Stephanie White's game plan unraveled in real time.
Paige Bueckers. Paige unloaded on the Fever. I mean, Paige had this game circled with a smiley face by it. But guys, Paige made it her business to unload on the Fever, bro. I am not lying in no shape, form, or fashion, bro. I mean, damn, bro.
But behind all the chaos, one thing was impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark, watching from the sideline, still found a way to lead, smiling, cheering, connecting with fans.
Oh, man. Kelsey Pistol Mitchell. Kelsey Pistol, you did your big one today, baby. You did your big one today. What a performance. 11 of 17, 4 for 6 from 3, 31 points, 32 points, 7 assists. Man, Kelsey Mitchell, you was on one. If you play like this when Caitlin Clark back, this is post-Olympic break.
And showing more love, presence, and leadership than the very players trusted to carry the team. But now the question is clear. Is Stephanie White done waiting? Because after tonight, she may be ready to burn this whole thing down and rebuild it her way. The Fever came out swinging, torching the Wings with a 33-13 first quarter beatdown.
You are lucky Kelsey Mitchell bailed you out. I was about to lose it. Y'all. Man.
The ball was moving, the energy was electric, and for a brief moment, it looked like Stephanie White's system had finally clicked. But that illusion shattered just as quickly as it appeared. The Fever's offense stalled, the defense grew lazy, and Kelsey Mitchell, after a hot start, faded when they needed her most.
Like, you have absolutely no idea what she is going to do on any given possession, but today she hit some shots down the stretch with a 15-13 game. Kelsey was unbelievable down the stretch. Kelsey Mitchell down the stretch was absolutely fantastic again. She was absolutely fantastic. Sophie Cunningham, I thought, didn't really put a foot wrong.
This was supposed to be Mitchell's night. With Caitlin Clark still sidelined,
Caitlin Clark on the bench. I know Caitlin Clark is out right now.
The veteran guard had the green light to lead, and she did, for about 2 quarters. She scored efficiently early, sliced through the defense, knocked down threes, and seemed ready to silence every critic.
Kelsey Mitchell gonna do what Kelsey does. 32.7 assists, 3 rebounds. Bro, can we please give Ari McDonald MVP? Just MVP of the team, bro. Now, I know Caitlin Clark been gone, but man, Ari McDonald shows up and show out. They got to figure out a way to play Ari and Caitlin at the same time. They need to be on the court at the same time, bro.
But then came the second half. The pace slowed, the movement stopped, and Mitchell, she disappeared. Not literally, but where it counted. Her shots clanked. Her passes grew hesitant. Her confidence, it cracked under pressure.
But on the other side of things, for the Fever, Kelsey Mitchell was sick down the stretch of this with her scoring prowess. She has no conscience, and you have to love that about Kelsey.
Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers started cooking. After a quiet first half, she roared back in the second.
Paige Bueckers did all that she could. She really was trying. She was cooking up. Honestly, Nalissa Smith is getting on my nerves. She can go. Kyla Charles, she been trying to cook up here and there ever since she got waived. She got waived from the Dallas Wings for a reason.
Dropping buckets, hitting clutch free throws, dishing out assists. At one point, it looked like she was about to single-handedly flip the game. And Kelsey? She didn't respond. That killer instinct fans needed was missing.
Now, it wasn't exactly pretty, and credit to Paige Bueckers,
who balled out. She was super impressive, especially in the second half in that game, trying to will the Wings back into it, getting into the paint, dishing it out, scoring on her own. Just a really great performance from Bueckers.
She had 7 assists, yes, but no urgency when it mattered most. It wasn't just about missed shots. It was about presence, about leadership, about someone grabbing the moment by the throat and refusing to let go. And in that silence, as the Fever's lead shrank and Stephanie White stood watching the collapse unfold again, one thing became clear. Kelsey Mitchell may have started strong, but she failed the finish.
I can't wait for Caitlin Clark to get back. I want her to put an end to all this chatter and all this whispers, like people acting like these other guards as good as her and they not. I can't wait until she comes back and sets the world on fire once again. That's all. That's what she's gonna do. That's what she's gonna do. Okay? So y'all can try to hype up whoever else y'all want. It's only one CC22.
Stephanie White saw it coming and did nothing to stop it. That's the part fans can't stomach anymore. The Fever built a commanding lead, but as the Wings surged back, it was like watching a slow, painful repeat of every meltdown this team has suffered all season.
Caitlin Clark, before the game, Stephanie White said Clark is still day-to-day, which I believe. I think there's a chance she plays in that Commissioner's Cup final on Tuesday. We shall see. That remains to be seen. But I still feel pretty good about the Fever. I do. I know I'm Mr. Optimistic and all that. But you got to remember, Clark has missed like half the season.
And this time, it felt different. It felt calculated. Because as the game slipped through their fingers again, Stephanie White didn't panic. She watched, almost like she was ready for it, almost like she was proving a point. Kelsey Mitchell had 32 points and 7 assists.
Kelsey was unbelievable down the stretch. Kelsey Mitchell down the stretch was absolutely fantastic again.
Kelsey Mitchell gonna do what Kelsey does. 32.7 assists, 3 rebounds. Bro, can we please give Ari McDonald MVP? Just MVP of the team, bro. Now, I know Caitlin Clark been gone, but man, Ari McDonald shows up and show out. They got to figure out a way to play Ari and Caitlin at the same time. They need to be on the court at the same time, bro, because Ari McDonald gets buckets. And I'm telling you right now, that is a big attribute she has, bro. I'm telling you.
On paper, that looks like leadership. But when the fourth quarter hit, her rhythm vanished. The decision-making broke down. The plays ran stale. And instead of adjusting, White let her system ride into the wall. That's where the frustration begins. Because it's not just about Mitchell's disappearing act. It's about a coach who continues to live and die.
My God. I mean, guys, we started out like a house of fire, and then we took our foot off the gas. And we were pressing, go, high energy, driving to the basket. Ari McDonald cutting Kelsey Mitchell to the basket. And it was a 33-13 first quarter.
By a flawed structure that doesn't evolve. The Wings behind Paige Bueckers didn't just close the gap, they punched back. Bueckers had 27 points and 6 assists, and down the stretch, she was calm.
On to the Dallas Wings. Paige Bueckers got busy. She started out slow, but she picked it up. 9 of 18, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 27.6 assists. Hey, Paige, you nice. Paige, you not Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. You're not Caitlin Clark. See, because Caitlin Clark had 27 and about 13 assists. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels. It's levels. Paige is nice. She's not must-see TV. She's not exciting like Caitlin. She's not exciting like the GOAT.
Calculated and relentless. She attacked the rim, pulled defenders out of place, and made the smart reads. Kelsey? She went quiet. The same player who looked unstoppable early suddenly started rushing shots and freezing when the moment got tight.
This is 94-86. In case you're wondering, Paige Bueckers tried to muck this whole thing up. Yeah, she scored 27 tonight. 27, 6 assists, 9 of 18. Arike went missing in action later in the game. And she had 15 points. Nobody knows exactly what was going on there. In case you're wondering, Alyssa Smith, 7 points, 10 rebounds, but boy, it was a quiet night from Alyssa Smith. Again, the theme of the night is they held on.
And while Mitchell was supposed to be the veteran anchor, the Fever's composure slipped right through her fingers. Stephanie White didn't switch it up. She didn't call for traps. She didn't insert defensive matchups to slow Bueckers. Instead, she sat on her hands, and that's what's making people talk. Because this wasn't just poor coaching, it felt intentional.
Stephanie White is a joke, y'all. She's a joke. She is a joke. It is your job as the coach to make sure your team comes out ready to play ball.
It felt like White was watching players crumble just to justify a deeper plan. And here's where it gets wild. Even in a night full of chaos, Caitlin Clark, injured and unavailable, still stole the spotlight.
Caitlin Clark before the game with the fans signing autographs out there with an injury.
She was on the sideline, laughing with fans, bonding with Aaliyah Boston, lifting spirits without even playing a minute. She didn't look defeated. She looked aware.
I saw this picture come up during the game, and it was, of course, a bonding moment between Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I saw Sydney Colson over here looking like she's mad as hell, and the first thing that came across my mind was what Sophie Cunningham said about the locker room earlier.
Aware of the storm building inside this locker room, aware that Mitchell's role is crumbling under pressure, and aware that Stephanie White might be ready to torch the whole system and start fresh, with Caitlin Clark at the very center. The message couldn't be clearer.
Because Paige Bueckers nearly unloaded on the Fever, bro. And I don't know what Caitlin Clark was over there thinking, but I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark said something to her team for them to get their act together because, bro, Paige looked like she was about to do it to him, dog. Paige was about to do it to him, bro.
White's loyalty is shifting. Mitchell had her shot, and she dropped the ball. Aari McDonald showed more fight, more tempo, and more urgency. And Clark? Even off the floor, she showed more leadership than half the roster combined.
Bro, can we please give Aari McDonald MVP? Just MVP of the team, bro. Now, I know Caitlin Clark been gone, but man, Aari McDonald shows up and show out. They got to figure out a way to play Aari and Caitlin at the same time. They need to be on the court at the same time, bro, because Aari McDonald gets buckets.
If Stephanie White's ready to reshape this team, tonight might have been the breaking point. Because Kelsey Mitchell didn't just lose momentum, she might have lost her spot at the top of the hierarchy.
Kelsey was unbelievable down the stretch. Kelsey Mitchell down the stretch was absolutely fantastic again. She was absolutely fantastic. Sophie Cunningham, I thought, didn't really put a foot wrong. And I thought Michaela Timpson gave good energy. I still don't think Michaela Timpson is anything special as a player. But like Michaela Timpson, if you want to judge plus minuses, she was on a lot of the time in a lineup with her, Colson. It was like her, Colson, Howard.
There was a time when Kelsey Mitchell was the unquestioned alpha of this Indiana Fever team. She was the veteran, the scorer, the one player you could trust to close games. But that era feels like it's slipping fast, because as this team begins to revolve more and more around Caitlin Clark, even when she's not on the floor, the contrast is undeniable. Leadership isn't just about stats. It's about presence. It's about poise. And Caitlin, even in a hoodie, is commanding this team in ways Mitchell never did.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's very clear that she is way stronger.
That's what fans saw courtside. Caitlin Clark laughing with Aaliyah Boston, signing autographs, locking in with teammates during timeouts. And when the game got tight, she didn't fold. She didn't disappear. She engaged. You could see it.
Caitlin Clark before the game with the fans signing autographs out there with an injury.
Her eyes tracking every possession, her energy still connected. She wasn't just watching the game, she was feeling it. Meanwhile, Stephanie White is clearly recalibrating. She knows what's coming. This isn't just about a temporary injury or a rough shooting night. This is about direction, about the Fever becoming Caitlin Clark's team in every way imaginable. Mitchell had the stage tonight. She had the minutes. She had the volume, and when it mattered, she flinched.
This game concluded tonight, guys, with the Dallas Wings having 86 points and the Indiana Fever winning with 94 points. In the first quarter, the Fever scored 33 points, the Wings scored 13. The second quarter, the Fever scored 23 points, the Dallas Wings scored 30. In the third quarter, the Fever scored 18 points and the Dallas Wings scored 26. The fourth and final quarter, guys, the Fever scored 20 points, the Dallas Wings scored 17 points. Now again, in this game, this matchup tonight, unfortunately, we did not get to see Caitlin Clark play. If Caitlin Clark played, it would have been even more of a massacre. Okay, that first and second quarter was brutal.
That's not what stars do. That's not what leaders do. Caitlin Clark isn't even on the floor, and she's uniting the fan base, stabilizing her teammates, and injecting energy into a team that would have collapsed without her presence. Stephanie White sees that. She knows this season won't be saved by the past. It's going to be defined by the future. And the future, it wears number, 22nd. Kelsey Mitchell may still be part of the plan, but after tonight, it's clear she's not the plan. And Stephanie White is done pretending otherwise.
This whole thing we have been bamboozled as Fever fans, as Caitlin Clark fans. We have been scammed and bamboozled by Stephanie White and the entire Indiana Fever management.
Caitlin Clark comes back, hopefully healed from her new groin injury. We can see a really good product from the Indiana Fever backcourt.
Kelsey Mitchell had the moment, and she let it slip. In a game built for her to lead, she vanished when the lights burned brightest. And as the Fever walked away with a shaky win that felt more like a warning, Stephanie White didn't just see a missed opportunity, she saw a shift in energy, in leadership, in identity.
Before we get into the Fever box score, we have to talk about Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers damn near had a career high against the Fever, bro. She had 27 points in 36 minutes, 4 assists, and 1 rebound, bro. Paige Bueckers went off. Arike did too. She was getting loose. She had 15 points as well. Then Azzi James also 14 points, but the Fever kept it together, bro. Natasha Howard came in clutch in the end. She had a double-double, 13 rebounds, 15 points. Then we got none other than...
Because while Mitchell faltered, Caitlin Clark stood tall, even from the sidelines. Her presence, her support, her connection with fans and teammates, it's everything this franchise is about to become.
And as you can see, the team is kind of, going through a lot right now. And I think this is one more thing that is really shown, obviously, and is hung over this team with the personal reasons, the absences, and the lack of transparency on this. And it comes down to her not wanting to play. I kind of understand that lack of transparency, but still, they're walking into every game with that. They've got Seattle tonight. This hits right before that. So
Stephanie White has a choice to make. And after tonight, it looks like that choice is already made. The Fever's future doesn't run through the past. It runs through Caitlin Clark.
She's the GOAT. She's going to show why the world is wanting to watch her play.
2.2 million views, man. Peaked at, average 1.7 million viewership. Ain't no team in the W still doing this, bro. Nobody's doing the numbers the Fever is doing.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
And with every game, every moment, every breakdown, that truth becomes louder. Kelsey Mitchell may still wear the jersey, but make no mistake, the torch is already in Caitlin's hands.